Hey y'all, Matt here from RetroOnly.com. Today we're going to be talking again about the Nintendo Switch. And more specifically, I'm going to be answering the question of how long the Switch takes to charge. If you just purchased a Switch and you're not exactly sure how long it actually takes to charge, and all the information online is kind of talking about this in this scenario or in that scenario, and how long it might take if you're doing this and how long it might take if you're doing that, that can be really confusing. So that's why I wanted to make this video and tell you exactly what my experience is in regards to charging the Nintendo Switch and how long it actually takes. So let's go ahead and hop into that. Before I do, please be sure to hit that like button and then also subscribe to our channel, as it really does help us out a lot and also allows other people who have this exact same question to get their answer as well. So let's go ahead and hop into that. When you're talking about charging your Switch, either with your Switch dock or just using your regular power cord, it will take somewhere between 2 and 3 hours in most cases. That will vary depending on if you're playing the Switch while you're charging it or not, as you can just have it in your Switch dock and be playing it on your TV. And obviously, since you're pulling the power to play the game, that will make it charge a little bit slower. But it also will depend on how low you run your battery. For example, when we did the battery test on the Nintendo Switch, which we did a live test while we were on a road trip to see how long the battery actually lasts when you're playing a game on the Switch, not just whatever this Nintendo says or whatever this random person says. We did an actual test and it lasts a little bit over 5 hours, if you're wondering. You can also check out that video here on our channel. But when we did that test, we got low battery notifications 3 or 4 different times. And even between all of those, there was a lot of difference in the battery life. So for example, it said your battery needs to be charged. We had maybe 15-20% left. Then we got another notification. Your battery needs to be charged 10%. Your battery needs to be charged 5%. Your battery is critically low and you might lose your game save data, was the last message that we got. Even after getting to that point, we still were able to play on the Switch for about 15 or 20 minutes, even after receiving that final warning. So depending on how low you run the battery down on your Switch will depend on how long it takes to charge. Obviously, if you drain it completely where there's absolutely nothing left and it shuts off on you entirely, then it's going to take a little bit longer than if you start charging it when you get the first low battery notification. That's why the range is between 2 and 3 hours. Okay, so there is a little bit of a range to it, and it's important for you to understand that. The other thing that can affect it is what type of charger you are using. If you're using the official Nintendo charger, then it should charge in that 2 to 3 hour time frame. However, if you're using a secondhand USB-C charger, just like one maybe for your phone or some other device that you have at your house, those will take a bit longer to charge if you aren't using the bigger Nintendo box. That's because the power that Nintendo puts out with their box for the Nintendo Switch, it is a lot more than, say, a small adapter that you'd use to charge your iPhone or to charge your Android or to charge other small electronic devices. The Nintendo one puts out 3.5 volts, whereas most of the other ones are 2 to 2.5 volts. So charging using the official Nintendo charger will allow it to charge in that 2 to 3 hour time frame, whereas if you're using a different one, it will take a little bit longer. So that's another important thing to keep in mind. If you are having issues with your battery running out too fast on your Nintendo Switch, or maybe you just need it to last longer, you go on long trips and you want it to last longer, there are all sorts of things you can do, including buying battery packs. You can get cheap battery packs, which I'll have a link to one in the description below, that will charge your Switch while you're playing it and allow you to play for 12, 14, 15, even 16 hours of playtime rather than the typical 5, because you've got this power bank. And they're making even bigger and better ones all of the time. Not that are bigger in size, but that will hold even more battery power. For example, I currently have one that's about the size of my iPhone 11, and that power bank says that it will charge for up to 5 phone cycles, meaning if you need to charge your cell phone, it'll charge it up to 5 different times before you need to recharge that power bank. So that should be 2 to 3 times of your Nintendo Switch, approximately, somewhere in that vicinity. And that's one that is not that big and was not that expensive either. So that's another option for you if your Switch battery is running out all the time or you want to extend that battery life just a little bit for your Switch. I hope that this video has been helpful to you in answering your question about how long the Nintendo Switch takes to charge and also some of the variables that go into that. If you did find this video helpful, please be sure to hit that like button and then also subscribe to our channel. We have all sorts of videos answering questions about the Switch and also just answering questions about gaming and those sorts of things in general as well. Again, my name is Matt from RetroOnly.com. Have a great day.